Hi, this is Andy with Pale Spruce, and today I'm talking toothpaste. Yes, I said toothpaste. Um, and the reason that is because of the Stay Out There kit. When I first started putting these together over a year ago, spent lots and lots of time working on trying to get all the ingredients, all of the pieces, I guess I should say, of the kit into a small package. And I spent probably hours looking for a small lip balm, where to get it from, how do I order it. But one thing I really didn't think about too much was the toothpaste that's in here. It's a full travel size toothpaste that takes up quite a bit of space in the bag. I mean, on this one side you've really got toothpaste and sunscreen. And Chad over at Stick's blog was doing a review of the kits, and he mentioned that he would probably take this toothpaste and put it down into a smaller package. And it just kind of hit me that I had never ever thought about that. For some reason, the whole thought just escaped me. So what I want to show you today is I've been playing around with repackaging toothpaste, and probably have spent way too much time on it, but I did. And going from in the kit a full travel size toothpaste down to just a small dropper bottle. And some of it is about weight. You end up saving about a half an ounce of weight, but it's also just size. So you go from something that's the travel size down to this bottle, which is, I don't know, a third of the size. And when you put it inside of the whole kit, it makes packing the kit a lot easier, and it gives you more room for putting other pieces into the kit. Same could be done for the toothpaste that's in the kit. It could be packaged into one of these dropper bottles as well. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in and show you kind of how I went from the travel toothpaste and then into the dropper bottles, and show you exactly how to do that. Okay, so I'm back here and got the toothpaste. I actually played around with a couple of different types of toothpaste because what I found is if you take the regular travel size toothpaste, the opening that you have on that toothpaste is just a little too large for the dropper bottles, and it became kind of a mess. If you go with something that's more of a squeeze toothpaste, you get a much smaller tip on the toothpaste, and it squeezes a lot better into the bottle. But let me show you first what I did just using the regular toothpaste. I guess another benefit of doing this is you can pick your own toothpaste. It doesn't have to come in a certain tube size or a tip on the bottle. So through a lot of mess around the house, I realized this wasn't going to work too well going into one of these small dropper bottles. And let me start with the dropper bottle here. I guess I'll back up. So it's just a really simple plastic dropper bottle. You can work out the tip, and if you're going to use toothpaste, I would recommend just using a brand new bottle. Don't try to reuse eye drops or something like that. Just get some new bottles. You can find them fairly cheap a lot of places on the internet. But you take the tip out, and then you've got that size opening, which is pretty much the same as the opening on the toothpaste. And I guess if you're really good, you could probably squeeze it in there, but what I found is it just became a mess. And I tried using toothpicks to try to help get it in there, tried a straw, tried a couple of different things, and none of them worked. And that's where I came up with this other bottle. It's another dropper bottle that I had around for some of my camping stuff. So it's the opening on the bottle is much larger, and I was able to squirt an entire travel size or your regular toothpaste, squirt that into this tube or into this bottle, and then the spout on this bottle is much smaller. And once you have toothpaste in here, insert it into your dropper, squeeze, you're good to go. And once you fill it up, you'll know because it starts squirting out, right? So that worked pretty well. The other way of doing it is I found this toothpaste at the grocery store that had a much smaller tip, so it works the same way as the other dropper bottle. Put it in there, squeeze. If you've got the white plastic bottle, it's hard to tell how much is in there. It's probably better to have clear for this type of application, so you can see as it's filling up and when you're getting close. So you get your toothpaste filled up, put your dropper cap back on there, and then when you're out camping, you just squeeze some of this bottle, or squeeze some of the toothpaste in this bottle onto your toothbrush. You're good to go. Now, what I found with these dropper bottles, and not really sure if you can see it, let me see if I can show this real quick. I don't know if you're probably not going to be able to see that, but there's a little piece in there that when trying to squirt out toothpaste, it clogged up. The regular toothpaste type just clogged up in this little center. It's almost like a little divider in the dropper, and I was squeezing and squeezing, and nothing was coming out. I tried cutting the tip on one of these bottles to a larger tip, but the divider was still in there, and was thinking this whole idea was not going to work. But then after playing around a little bit, I just realized I squeeze the bottle, the toothpaste comes out, and then I could just put it on my toothbrush and brush away. But then if you put the top on without the dropper in there, toothpaste could get all over the top. So just by chance, really, I just inverted the dropper tip onto the bottle to kind of provide a little bit of a seal, and then when you screw on the top, it actually doesn't go down quite as far, but when you screw that on, the dropper tip sticks down into the bottle. And I don't know, I haven't played around enough with various types of bottles. I've actually ordered a few other bottles to see if this will work with other kinds, but it actually just presses down in there, and it'll stay in there well enough. And then when you screw the lid back on, it makes a good seal. So if the tube gets squeezed when you're in your backpack, if you're bike packing on your bike, if it gets squeezed, toothpaste is not going to come out. And it seems to make a pretty good seal, especially if you just tighten that lid down really good a time or two. It could seal it in there. I didn't want to go with some glue in there just because it's toothpaste, stuff you're putting in inside of your mouth. Didn't want to go that route. And even if this comes out on a trip, that's okay. I can just pop it back in there, screw the bottle, and then it'll seat itself in there well enough, because all you're looking for is just a seal around this lip to stop the toothpaste from squeezing out. So works pretty well. I'm going to try out a few other dropper bottles and see what happens. And that's pretty much it for the dropper bottles. I've got one here that I filled up, and on my scale, I guess I won't show it here, but the tube of toothpaste is 1 ounce. The dropper bottle full of toothpaste is 0.55 ounces. So you save about a ½ ounce total. And again, if I go back to the kit, I can take out this entire part and then put in the one dropper bottle. And then let's say I also did the same thing with the sunscreen. Take out the sunscreen and its little protective cap for the sharp edges, and put in another bottle that's full of sunscreen. I've got a lot more space in my Aloxac bag to put more first aid items, more chamois cream if I'm going on a longer trip. Whatever you need, you can put more in there. You could put you know, if you want additional first aid items that don't come with the kit, you could put it in there. So it's a great way to just save. It's really more about saving space in your kit than it is about saving weight. But if you're a true ultralighter weight weenie, and a half an ounce is a half an ounce. And if you do that a few times, you get up to a half pound. So that's the dropper bottles. If you don't want to go this route, and if you don't have maybe one of these other dropper bottles to kind of transfer in between, excuse me, another option would be, let me clear some of this out. Another option would be some tins. I've got a metal one and a plastic one here. This is kind of what you would see with a Blistex or some other kind of lip balm. Again, you can get these brand new. Get these brand new. You want something that's clean and sanitary if you're going to put toothpaste in it. But you could, and these come in various sizes, anything from a 1/4 ounce to 2, 3, 4 ounces. But you could fill up inside of these enough toothpaste for easily, in the metal one, easily 7 days. For this one, probably 4 or 5, maybe even more. And fill in your put in your toothpaste, and then if you want to use it, just scoop some out with your toothbrush, and you're good to go. And even something like this, not as easy to get the toothpaste out, but it would work. It's a little bit easier to get the toothpaste into these because of the larger opening. But even still, if you had one of these in your bag, and then you put a metal one in there, you'd still be saving. You've still got a lot of free space in the kit. So hopefully, whether you're using the Stay Out There kit or not, doesn't really matter with this. I'm probably going to stick with the dropper bottle. Just, it's more like squeezing toothpaste onto your toothbrush like you're used to. So I'm probably going to stick with this, try it out for a while. And I think these bottles, they come in various sizes, but you should be able to get 3-4 days. Some of the larger bottles, you could get well up to a week's worth of toothpaste. And if one's not enough, package up 2 for a longer trip, you're good to go. So 2 of these is still an ounce, just over an ounce, which is same size as the toothpaste, and still pack a little bit smaller. So hopefully this has been informational, probably more than you ever wanted to know about toothpaste, but hopefully you find it useful, and thanks for stopping by.